The famous criminal Jack Rourke was being followed by Cole Mercer. Cole had been tracking him for 4 days. In every town he visited, everyone who heard Jack Rourke's name was very afraid. They did not say a single word and quickly moved away from Cole. Cole decided to rest for a while in his last stop, a town called Daly. While he was drinking at the bar, 2 men entered the bar talking loudly. They approached the bartender. When they stood right next to Cole, a very bad smell filled the room. The tall, large man with a long beard ordered the bartender, "Give us your strongest drink." They sat right next to Cole. Cole thought to himself, "I am sure they haven't washed for a month," because the smell in the room changed so much. While they were drinking their drinks, they were talking about their last robbery. Cole was watching the bartender and noticed his fearful eyes. "Finish your drink. Let's get the things we need and go to Jack. You know, Jack doesn't like to wait," said the man with the long beard. Cole had finally found what he was looking for. When the man left the bar, Cole stood up from his stool and left the money for his drink. The fear on the bartender's face was still there. The bartender knew that Cole was looking for Jack Rourke. But because of his fear, nobody was talking. The bartender said in a low voice, "Sir, if I were you, I would not follow them. They are all very dangerous men. I have seen many cowboys like you, and none of them were successful." Cole turned to the bartender and said, "Don't worry, that killer has reached the end of the road and left the bar." Cole was following the 2 men from a distance where he would not be noticed. They moved away from the town on their horses and suddenly disappeared inside a large rocky valley. When Cole approached there was something he didn't know. Jack Rourke had heard that Cole was following him. He decided to prepare a small welcome for him. The men who came to the bar knew Cole was there. They did their job very well by sitting right next to Cole and talking about Jack and the robbery to get Cole's attention. When Cole realized that something was wrong, it was too late. 4 men appeared from behind the rocks. With the sound of gunshots, Cole's horse jumped up. Most of the bullets hit his horse, but 1 bullet hit Cole's left leg. He fell from his horse to the ground. He knew he would die if he stayed there. While his horse was falling down in blood, Cole moved behind a large rock. Behind the rock, he checked his leg with the bullet wound and wrapped it with a cloth from his pocket. He knew he would faint if he lost more blood. He tightened the bandage very well. Now he was ready to pull his guns. When he came out from behind the rock, he shot 2 of the 4 men approaching him and hid behind the rock again. The other 2 men stopped approaching Cole and immediately hid behind a rock. Cole was trying to see where they were. On his left side, someone's foot stayed a little outside the rock. Cole shot the man in the foot with a single bullet. The man fell outside the rock because of the pain, and he was shot right in the forehead with a second bullet. The large man with the long beard was now alone and afraid. He was now alone against Cole. "If you let me go, I will tell you Jack's place," he shouted. Cole thought about this offer for a bit. He knew very well that a bandit could not be trusted. Cole stood up and fired 2 shots at the rock where the bandit was hiding. When the stone pieces from the rock fell on the man, he panicked and tried to run away. At that moment, Cole shot the man in both legs. Cole slowly approached the man on the ground. He pointed his gun right at his head and said, "If you talk, it will be a clean death for you." The man on the ground knew very well that Cole would make him talk sooner or later. "He is hiding in the forest 10 miles north after you pass the valley," he said. At that moment, Cole finished him with a single bullet. It was almost dark. Cole caught the men's horses, tied them up well, and lit a small fire. While checking the bullet wound in his leg, he thought about how lucky he was. Fortunately, the bullet went in and out of his leg. He looked to see if there was food among the things the men took from the town. There were 2 cans of food and some coffee in a bag. He took the coffee in his hand and took a deep breath. "I guess this coffee was for Jack." "It smells wonderful," he said, and his smile was visible in the light of the fire. After eating his meal, he boiled some water over the fire and filled his cup. While sipping his coffee, he watched the moon in the sky. The next morning, Cole woke up as the sun was rising. He chose the strongest horse, sat on it, and set the other horses free. While riding his horse fast toward the north, the pain in his leg increased. "I must find a doctor as soon as this job is over," he thought. 2 hours later, he arrived at the area where Jack was hiding. He got off his horse and examined everywhere in detail with his eyes. After tying his horse to a tree, he continued to walk among the trees. When that bad smell from the bar reached his nose, he understood he was in the right place. When he walked a little more, he saw a small cabin and 2 people guarding. "Do you think they finished Cole Mercer's job?" "I wish I had gone with them. I missed all the adventure," one said. Cole knew he had to be quiet. While trying to go around them by hiding among the trees, the sound of a branch he stepped on the ground ruined everything. When the E2 men turned left at the same time, they saw Cole. While they were pointing their rifles, Cole had already pulled his gun and fired. Both men fell where they were. Hearing the noise, 3 men ran out of the house with guns in their hands. When they came out of the house, they were shooting randomly. When Cole shot 2 of the men coming out of the house, Jack, who escaped the bullets, quickly ran into the trees. Cole felt a pain in his chest. While his blood was flowing slowly, he fell on his knees. "I can't die now. There are too many criminals I still need to catch," he groaned. When Jack looked out from the tree he was hiding behind, he noticed Cole was wounded on his knees. He came out of his hiding place with a mocking smile. "Cole, finally you have reached the end of the road, and you did not succeed in catching me." Cole looked at the smiling Jack with anger. Just as he moved his gun, as if he was going to throw it away to surrender, a gun fired. Jack was shot right in the head. He fell where he was. A week later, when Cole opened his eyes in a Native American tent, he was trying to understand if he was still alive or dead. An old Native American man entered the tent. "I am Storm Reaper, the chief of this tribe. Cole Mercer, the famous bounty hunter. You would have died if we hadn't found you. For a while, Jack and his men were kidnapping our people and taking them to other towns to sell them as slaves. We joined 3 tribes together to kill him and followed him. But you found them before us. If it weren't for you, many of my good men could have died there. We owe you a big thank you." Cole had not reached his daughter and wife, but he was happy to be alive when there were still many criminals to catch. "Thank you, Storm Reaper. I owe my life to you, too." Cole was now healed. He got on his horse and left the Native American tribe, setting off toward new adventures. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the story, you can support me by liking the video and subscribing to my channel. Until we meet in the next video, take care of yourselves.